let's talk to Zia about some crazy shit. So I haven't talked to you in a minute, and I want to get your initial reaction. I don't even know if you've talked about Nick yet. Have you? Have you even mentioned it?
So somebody came in and told me what was happening on stream. So I semi-reacted to it because I didn't know what was going on. I'm horrible with Twitter drama. I never know what's happening because I just don't pay attention to much. But I found out on stream and then sort of looked at. So I talked about it for like maybe 15 minutes.
Twitter drama. Is that what you just said?
Well, you know what I mean. It was all on Twitter.
Yeah.
Like that's how that's how other people found out, and then that's how they told me. And I spend like no time on Twitter. It's horrible.
Well,
go
ahead.
He did pop in my chat one night that I was streaming.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, he was in my chat my entire show last Saturday.
Okay, that's good, right? That's a good sign. I haven't spoken to him. I heard you did.
Yeah, I've talked to him a few times.
Okay.
He seems to be in good spirits now. I haven't talked to him in a few days, and he went live on Locals, which we're gonna pull up here, and we're gonna put it on like 1.5 speed because ain't no way in hell I can watch all that. And not that it's bad or anything. It's just like I'm not good at like reacting to something for hours. So, but he went to Locals and he was live on Locals and he was talking about some stuff and he was throwing a lot of people some shade. And it was very interesting to see one of them being Legal Mindset, which is obvious because Legal Mindset's kind of on the opposite end of the spectrum when it comes to, they call me a nose guard, which is fine. But, because you're like, hey, I hope things work out in the best way possible, which means you're a nose guard. If you don't immediately wish death on him, then you're not a nose guard. Or if you are a nose guard, sorry.
I don't understand that term. And what does that mean?
Nick has a ginormous, like, Jewish nose.
Okay. So you're a nose guard because you want him to be okay?
Yeah, I want the best outcome possible for him and his family. And yeah, he fucked up. Yeah, he made mistakes. Yeah, he needs to be held accountable.
Everyone does, but that doesn't mean that you like. What does he deserve to die because he went through a rough patch? Like that's ridiculous. My sister's in prison because of drugs. Should she die? Should she be dead?
Yes.
Like I want the best for my sister too. I believe in second chances for everyone.
Yes.
That's so sad. I hate I hate people.
Yeah.
This is why.
You know how it is. So, anyways, yeah, that's what nose guarding means. And yeah, I guess I am kind of a nose guard. I guess in that sense, because I want my friend to be all right. But Legal Mindset's on the opposite end of that. And Sean, his name is just too long and I forget it. Anyways, criminally something. It's criminally something. Anyways, you guys know in the chat. And I like Sean. I've always liked Sean. So he seems to be kind of fact-based. Now I haven't watched him in a while though, so I'm gonna be honest. But yeah, I've always liked him. But yeah, Legal Mindset's a different story anyway. But we're gonna watch all that. We're gonna kind of react to it, and I'm gonna fill in my insight in certain places as well. Potentially criminal. Thank you guys, appreciate you. And then we're gonna go from there. And we're gonna have a lot of fun. And maybe Nick will pop in our chat and talk to us a little bit. If not, that's awesome as well. Because to be honest, if I was him, I'd turn all that shit off and disappear.
Honestly, samesies. Samesies. Okay, I do want to ask you about this though, because this was so. I'm so behind. I didn't realize any of what was happening. I didn't know April was living with them. I didn't know she left her husband. I didn't know any of that stuff. I was like, wait a second, who? And so that was a really crazy surprise. April and then Aaron Emolt. Is that how you say their last name?
I think it's Emolte, but I could be wrong.
I don't know. Anyway, he was on Chrissy's podcast and he was talking about how he was in love with Kayla. The hell was going on there?
No. So what he says,
okay,
is Kayla was in love with him, and said she has never felt a way about a man that she does him, and her and Aaron were soulmates, and he showed like what appeared to be a text message from her, basically saying if we can't be in a relationship, then I want you to leave my family alone or something, implying that she still want to be in a relationship with him. I haven't been following him because I cannot watch him anymore. I was trying to watch a few of his shows, to see what he was saying, because as soon as he said shit that I knew was like true or not, I'd be like, oh, and he started leaning towards it. A lot of the stuff he was saying, and I was like, ooh, and then of course it went real bad real fast. So that gave him the green light to say whatever, I guess. But I just can't. Why he's unwatchable, man.
I honestly have never watched.
He's got this disc jockey, and I know a lot of people like him, and a lot of people that I know in real life, they know him in real life, and I get it. But I just don't like. I do not like disc jockey, radio jockey like personas.
Yeah.
The Howard Stern stuff. I think it's the fucking gayest shit in the world.
Okay.
You know, like the fake asshole, fake offensive thing. That's so gross.
But it's not like really who you are. You're just well, and it's worse when it's some people can pull that off in a way that's funny. But you have to be really good at it. Most people do it and they just suck at it.
Yeah.
And they're not good at it, and it's not funny. So someone was also saying in the chat, okay, yeah. Aaron also said that he was saying he was in love with her too.
Hey, maybe I didn't watch that long to get to that.
Cody's like, I'm not watching.
The lore there was just too much lore, and I was watching him kind of talk about certain stuff, and then there's a point where he would like release some like damning shit, and then he would smirk and like laugh, and I'm like, he's doing this for some good shit. He's just doing it because, I get it. So, and I mean, look, people will call me a hypocrite because I'm streaming about it right now, but hey, like, I've known Nick for years, and I've been just following the situation, and it's fun to talk about it in a more of a positive lot. So
right. You're not schemy with the way you're talking about it.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Western Civilization says Nick will have a comeback, but Kayla. What does that mean? Hold on. What does that mean?
I don't know.
What does that mean? All right. Anyways, so I got Bob the Elder popping up the super chat. Says, I don't believe a word of anything Aaron M. Holt has to say. He has an obvious axe to grind. Even worse, he has an active interest in making money from all this. Pure bias. Yeah, I can see that.
Well, his wife was off living with and possibly sleeping with them or something. So yeah, of course he's pure bias. Like no shit. Whatever was happening there.
You know that skeleton reel? Have you ever seen the reel? And it's like a skeleton, and he's like standing at a funeral.
No.
In the casket. And it's like, she was a great person, and the skeleton's like, she was so loved by all. Yeah. When you're like, yeah, possibly sleeping. I'm like, anyways, thank you, Bobby Eller. Pure bias. Yeah, sure. Yeah. Hey, Johan Noxos, what's up? Tonight. All I gotta say is, look, I don't know. Okay. But if I have a 102-pound blonde girl living with me, staying with me, just there or whatever, and she like takes her pants off every once, it's gonna happen. Do you know how I am?
I don't know. I know how you are. I don't know. No, I don't know how that whole dynamic was working, because obviously you hear things, but these are people saying things from the outside, so you have no idea,
Yeah. Well, at any rate, I'm just saying, you can't put an attractive girl around me if she's like reciprocating, is what I mean.
Well, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? If she's like, well, take my underwear off, and I'm like, yeah. Like, yeah.
I'm not gonna say no.
Yeah. All you gotta be is kind of hot, bro. My standards are very low. Shut your ass. Madio says, saw a video on Nick from Turkey Tom. So apparently his family was rich from embezzling an endowment. Okay, so I saw that, and I've never heard this before. That blew my asshole at the wall. And I'm guessing this is old, like Kiwi, like farms lore. I don't know, man. I don't follow it. But I was watching the Turkey Tom video, and there was something about that. Like his grandmother was the like treasurer for this ginormous like charity where this guy had given away all of his money in his will to her or something, and Ty Beard signed off on it. Dude, I don't know. I saw the document, but I'm definitely not presenting that correctly. But it was something like that, and I was like, "What the fuck is this? What?" So I was like, "That's really confused." So I need to look at that again. But yeah, that's pretty interesting though.
That sounds wild.
Well, there was a part where it was like, Rekieta has several children and was unemployed for 2 years. How did he survive? And I'm like thinking to myself, yeah, that's a good point. Because bro, if I was unemployed for 2 years with 0 kids, I'd be fucked.
Dude, I don't know. Same. I don't know what the hell I would do. 2 years.
So, there's something going on, but I don't know. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's not. Hey, maybe
it's funny.
inheritance maybe or something.
I was going to say, I've like actively watched people come up with theories online because it happens, right? If you do anything online, and I've done things with, comedians and it's so interesting because the theories that people come up with and you're on the inside. And so, but you're watching all these theories that people, they're so convinced that they're right because they can just see it from the outside and they're so wrong. And it's just hysterical to watch. So I definitely take most of what people say online with a grain of salt because 99% of the time they're seeing what they want to see or what they made up in their head.
Sure. What's up, Bruce Camarja? How you doing, dude? Art says that was Turkey Tom's documentary where he said Nick's mother gave Ty Beard control of the estate. Thank you, Art. I'm not very good at technical. What's up, Toasty? How you doing? So let's Billy Hatcher says, glad to see Cody and Zia back together. Also, I hate how people make fake drama about two of you. It's annoying, and I hope Nick doesn't go to prison because of this new shitty judge he got. Well, I don't know anything about the judge, but I know the judge is hard on drugs, but it's a first offense, no criminal history. Yeah, I was probably the one that started most of the drama.
You did, you motherfucker. You fake drama, you piece of shit. I would go to the source. I'd go in her chat and be like, I guess since you hate me, I'll just kill myself. You motherfucker. I know someone came into my chat and was like, how come you're not talking to Cody anymore? I was like, I talked to him 15 minutes ago. It was like 15 minutes after we had texted. I was like, what are you talking about?
I thought it was funny.
I'm glad you enjoyed yourself.
You can't see my trolling in the grill aisle.
Pieces of trash.
So this is the video. This is the local stream, and we're gonna play this, and just kind of get a feel for what's going on with Nick, because he hasn't really got to say his piece, and he says a lot of his piece here. Obviously, he can't be super detailed, So we'll see what happens. Anyways, go on.
My old studio was changing, right? So I'm redoing stuff. One of the things, someone got through major withdrawals. There you go. The main thing that I am doing as part of all of this,
I do have to say his mic quality for some reason in this stream was a nightmare.
Yeah, it's horrendous sounding.
Nightmare.
Hubbub is I kind of have to remove. I don't have to. I shouldn't say that. It's not the appropriate thing. I'm removing as like a major theme of the show alcohol, at least for the known future. You said the mic is clipping very hot.
Yeah. So so this is something he said, I think in Locals or on Twitter. He's removing alcohol from his show as a theme from for the foreseeable future. It should be forever.
Yes. This is I know I've brought this up a couple of times, but I talked to my sister recently and we actually did have a conversation about this. For people who don't know, my sister's in prison for a lot of meth related and just drugs in general, but meth was a really big one for her. Charges, a lot happened over some years. And I'm just sort of hearing about the specifics of some of the stories that she told me. But I think something that she's been in prison for 4-ish years now. And I think she's just starting to come to terms with the fact now that she won't be able to drink. She won't be able to smoke weed. She has to completely stay away from everything. You can't be sober from one thing and not everything else. So and I hope that he really does come to that realization because you're right, never again. But not everyone gets there. A lot of people sometimes think, oh, well, I can just have a drink or two. I did that for years until I realized, no, I can't. So I could never drink again in my life. That's it.
Yeah. So thank you, Psychotic Mongoose, for your gifted sub. So I agree. Now to be fair, Nick's been a casual drinker for probably at least over a decade or two. And it only seemed to get really, really bad with stress. So that maybe he could come back and forth. Probably just don't do it. But
just don't do it.
As far as any substances go, I would fucking be dropping all that immediately. Like without question.
Yes.
So
and for people who are asking if my sister looks like me, she does not look anything like me. It's actually funny. Cody has seen her.
Yeah, she looks Hawaiian, and Zia, who is also Hawaiian, is just white looking. It doesn't make sense.
I look like my dad.
Rick Nikita says he seems more homosexual.
Rick Nikita.
That's funny. That's Nick's name in my phone.
Is it really?
Yep.
That'd be funny if that's actually him. That's his alt account. And he's like, I'm going to fuck with Cody a little bit.
I doubt it. Thank you, Rick Nikita. Anchor Fist becomes a member. Thank you, my friend. All right, let's continue down the road of self-destruction.
but it's not showing me that on my.
By the way, somebody said the mic was fine on the stream, but it's because of the copy of the stream. I watched it live and it was terrible. So
oh, okay.
I was in my pool and I was drinking claws and I was like 8 claws deep and I was floating in my pool watching the stream, and it sounded pretty bad and I was tipsy. So
it's actually showing it's not doing that at all. Let me see. We'll get this thing set up.
I like the setup. I kind of like seeing the chat in the background flop around.
Yeah, I can see the volume. It is a little high. Hold on.
Come on, Nick, fix it. All right, we're live here, Nick.
We'll bring it down a bit. That should be better. I'm not used to broadcasting with this mic in this room going in the way it is. So
it sounds like it's like underwater almost.
Yeah.
All right. So here we go. I'm removing most of the alcohol references from the show. I won't be drinking on the show, at least for quite a while. Just because. Like, I guess it was maybe.
Hold on, Nick. He's like, I don't know why. I'm like, all right, now, come on, Nick. Come on, don't make me play the video again. Come on now. I don't know why. I mean, I guess whatever. You can see he like realizes what he said. He's just kind of laughing.
He's laughing.
Look at him. Boo this man. Boo. Oh, it's funny.
Maybe I drank too much on a show. I don't know if you guys know. Sometimes I drink too much on a show.
Somebody made a really funny joke. They're like, just because you're drinking a Monster Rehab doesn't count for rehab.
That's hilarious.
It's a pretty funny show. Or it's funny joke.
Yeah, that's good. I like whoever came up with
that. That being said, as part of that, I'm taking down. I really hate doing this specifically. I took down the anniversary gift that Lady Raggets got me. The anniversary gift that Lady Raggets got me was the liquor bottle painting that was behind me, and I'm removing it from the background of the show again, at least temporarily. And instead, I'm putting up my Joker painting behind me because.
I don't know what this means, man.
Is he trying to say he's the Joker? Is that what he's trying to say?
Let's put a smile on your face. I'm like, Nick, no, please.
That laugh was kind of creepy.
Wait, oh, maybe it's the reference that some people just want to watch the world burn. Didn't he say that? Didn't Heath Ledger's Joker say that?
He did say that, right? Okay, maybe.
Right? Yeah. That's I think you guys will like the Joker painting I have. I really do. It's a great painting. And I don't know. Sometimes you can be a fan of the world around you. You guys will see it. It'll be up. One of the other major changes I'm doing is I will be standing for the show, even down in my office. We're going to switch to a standing show rather than sitting down.
Now, see, this is why I don't think this is a good move, because he needs to gain some weight. Don't need to be standing up. Sit down.
Yeah,
put you some carbs in you and sit on your ass.
Eat some food. He can have some of mine.
So Glass Gawaz says he was referencing the line in the movie in his booking photo where he knew it would go everywhere.
Okay, I see.
That makes sense.
I think that's a big part of doing the show and keeping my energy level up and keeping the show length actually at a reasonable pace rather than going like 6-7 hours of shows or whatever. Like I know I haven't done a lot of those recently, but by standing up, it keeps me active and moving. It keeps me in my sort of natural talking element. I don't like talking sitting down. I do it on the show, or did it on the show because I had to. So I'll be doing standing streams. I have to work out a little bit of how I'm going to be manipulating like what the fuck's on the stream that you guys see and stuff like that. Working on all that, getting that done. But for now, I really, really wanted to like actually pop in and say, hey guys, how's it going?
So Kylie B brings up a good point. She said he's standing up because of his narcolepsy. Now, see, I don't think his narcolepsy has ever been a problem until recently, unless he's coming off of his narcolepsy meds. Maybe I don't really know. I'm just speculating. I don't know how any of that works. I do not have narcolepsy.
I know. I was so confused because I don't have narcolepsy either, obviously. But he was talking about the type that he has, and I guess from the outside, it's so funny when you don't have diseases from the outside. I always thought narcolepsy was just you fall asleep all the time anywhere easily. But apparently that's not the case. And the way he was explaining his narcolepsy wasn't exactly that, but kind of. It was weird. Yeah,
Disparu says if he has a standing desk, it solves all the issues of controlling stream. Yeah, I agree. I've never been interested in standing though, for some reason. I never really cared. I like sitting on my ass.
Because a lot's happened in the past couple of weeks, and as I'm sure you can be very sensitive, about, like, I can't talk about a lot of it. There will come a day, I suppose, when things can be talked about. But for now, I have an ongoing criminal case. If you're not caught up,
He also shouldn't
if
be
you're not caught up, I have an ongoing criminal case in the state of Minnesota.
He should not be drinking energy drinks.
No, he should be eating food, like you said. I feel like drinking energy drinks and not eating is not good for gaining weight.
Maybe I drink a lot of Monster.
I used to.
Drink
I
3 a day.
can't anymore, though. That's how I used to be. I can't anymore. Now I'm like 1 cup of coffee in the morning. I put a little stevia. I drink it black, and that's it. That's all I can have for the day.
Yeah, I gotta have more. I even drink pre-workout too. I drink all that shit. Emmanuel Castellanos says, California is sober. It's a lie. You either embrace the program or you die. You can't do this halfway. If I could do 13 years of counting, he can. Thank you, Emmanuel.
Fuck yeah, Emmanuel. Congratulations. That's awesome.
Yeah,
13 years is...
That's a long ass time, man. And I think that Nick could be to that point for sure.
I hope so.
Yeah.
Minnesota. And, until that is resolved, I have to be a little bit circumspect about what I say about it. Obviously, there are a lot of really well-meaning people out there who have a bunch of great advice for that case. And I mean that, I'm saying it a little bit sarcastically, but there are a lot of people who really do mean well, who've said a lot. And you find out very quickly who has no idea, like, how criminal trials run.
This is where he's going to lay into legal mindset. I think Nick, when he's on 1.5 speed, seems a little bit more flamboyant.
I forgot he was on 1.5 speed. I know you said that, and I was like, man, it kind of seems like he's a little cracked out right now. That's why. God damn it.
I have it sped up.
That
He's
explains
a little bit.
lot.
So he's literally on speed right now, but it's like a video speed.
Criminal case, I should say. And many of them are lawyers. Some of them have trouble, like, keeping both eyes in a forward direction, like in looking towards the future. Some of them just always keep one eye on the grift. And they limp along in this weird sort of manner, trying to pretend that they have any fucking idea what's going on. They don't. They know so little that it's embarrassing. But, that's fine, because they can pretend to be a lot of things.
He's talking about legal mindset, Andrew,
Okay.
who is very tall. I didn't notice he limped.
I don't know this legal mindset person, but I've heard his name brought up a lot recently, but I have no idea who he is. Obviously, he's the YouTube or a lawyer that does YouTube videos. Okay.
Yeah, there was this weird spat where he like banned me from chat.
Why?
Well, it's just so like he had like a lot of VTubers on his show. And I think one of them told me that they detest me because he said hi to me in chat or something. Because I remember I think he had Kirsch on, and I said hi in chat, and he was like, "Hey, Camelot," and she probably was like, "Fuck that guy," like in the behind the scenes or something like.
Is it because of the Pippa thing?
Yeah. And he banned me, and I don't mind. I'm just out. Like, I would have liked if he told me, because I DM'd him and I was like, "Hey man, like I think I'm banning your chat," and he didn't respond. And then he messaged somebody else saying that his chat hates me, so he banned me. And then he went on Twitter saying he banned me, or he didn't say my name, but he said content creators, because I broke a rule. And I'm like, oh, you're lying, you bastard. But it's fine. Like, it's fine. He's trying to preserve his show. It's fine. I mean, I don't really mind getting banned. He just DM me and tell me. I don't really care. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Anyways.
Like good with women, for example.
He's saying that legal mindset's really bad with women, and I don't really know anything about that.
Okay. He's
like 6'6" or 7.
I was gonna say, yeah, if he's tall, like you said, I was gonna say, yeah, like every woman should be going after him. I was talking to my stepmom today. We got a pedicure, we got our nails done, and she's been seeing this guy, I guess, that is on the shorter side. And I don't care about height. I never have. I think it's a really silly thing. Most guys are taller than me because I'm 5'2". So what am I gonna? I wouldn't want to date a guy shorter than me, but that's not asking for a lot. You know what I mean? But I don't need a guy who's over 6 feet tall. I never have. I think that's such a silly requirement. But I didn't realize how many women are so adamant about that, and I'm not really sure why. And my stepmom is the same. She was dating this guy, and she's like, well, he lied about his age, his height. He said he was 5'9", but I think he's like 5'6" or 5'5" or something. And I'm like, yeah, but you're 5'1". Like he's still taller than you. Why does this matter? I just don't really get the height thing. I never will. But as a guy who's like 6'6", I would imagine that like every girl would be after him.
Yeah. The only time I would disagree is if a guy was like 5'2" or less.
Right. And that's a little rough. Yeah. Like you're shorter than me but I feel like that sucks. But
that's shorter than like a 12-year-old boy.
It's just shorter than a girl.
Yeah. Yeah, that's weird. Lick and Bacon says addicts tend to lash out at people. And I think you can kind of see that in the DMs that were in the Flash group. That everybody swears Flash leaked, and I know for a fact he didn't. But still, like, he was pretty pissed in there. But Flash is like a no bullshit guy. Like he was like, "You're a monster. You're becoming a monster, Nick." And Nick's like, "What the fuck?" So it was pretty funny. On the outside looking in, NM says, "Whoa, I'm 5'1". F, what the fuck? Are you a guy? That sucks, dude. I'm sorry, man.
I am sorry.
Even Leah said she's sorry. Look at her.
I feel terrible. 5'1" is so short, though. That's shorter than me, and I'm shorter than everyone. Like I feel like a midget compared to every person I stand next to.
Yeah. Anyways.
But that being said, we'll just move along past that, and we'll just go ahead and not worry about it. Some very well-meaning friends have reached out to me and have sent me lots of love and support and all of that stuff. The problem is they want things like they're moving at the pace of internet. They're moving at the pace of internet. They want things done like now.
Yeah,
like, guys, it's a criminal case in fucking Bumpkinville, Minnesota.
This is one thing that's frustrating to me about this whole situation is I want to see it play out immediately.
Yeah,
and kind of get behind him, and I know it's going to be like a year or two.
At least. This stuff takes so long. They got to do the investigation, and then there's all the fucking court hearings and the appearances, and then the judge postpones it, but it takes so long to even get in front of a judge.
Yeah.
The whole thing takes forever.
Yeah, it's wild. Good Gravy says, how tall is Camelot? I'm 5'11", which is the same height as Tim Pool. And I was blown away because I remember I met him, and he was wearing flats, and he walked up to me, and he was like right at my eye level. And I was like, what?
Did you think he was shorter or taller?
I don't know why I did. So I like turned around after I talked to him for a minute, and I Googled his height, and it was like 5'11". And I was like, what? I can't believe it. I don't know why. I just thought he was shorter. Like, it's weird. It's
the beanie. I think it's the beanie. For some reason, I thought the same thing, and I think it's because of the beanie. I don't know why.
Yeah. But anyways, at any rate, he's surprisingly taller than I ever expected. He's a great dude though. I DM him all the time about racing. He's super supportive about all of it. So it's really
cool. That's so cool. I like that.
Yeah. Anyways.
The prosecutor still has to learn how to type. It's going to take a while. That's a joke. She knows how to type. I've worked with her before. She's very nice. But no, so literally, legitimately, you're like, you got to get this thing done and done and done. It's like, guys, it doesn't go that fast. It doesn't go that fast out here. It might in other jurisdictions or whatever. Out here, it doesn't. And really, there's a whole bunch of considerations that go into a case that affect the timeline. And I'm not in control of pretty much any of them. If you've never been...
That's the thing he's talking about, how these court systems are still very old. Mm-hmm. They refer to everything like YouTube, like content creators or influencers. They refer to them as live vloggers, a term that was used in 2002 for 8 seconds.
Okay.
Rage Pig registers a damn code. Use them upload. I am. Yes, I am. I showed your channel on screen. Okay, you can't yell at me. All right. This is called transformative Rage Pig. Okay, come on now, get on it, doggone.
Charge of the felony. Let me just enlighten you. The state tells you what will happen when, and that's about it. So that being said, again, I'm not going to sit and talk about the case. I can't do that. I just want to give a shout out to many very good friends who have been out there supporting me, offering wonderful advice, both in a personal and professional manner. Everybody I have met who's reached out privately has been relatively well-meaning, even the ones who have a whole lot of the situation wrong and the story wrong, and they have they have advice that's not really useful, even though it's well-meaning. And that's what people need to understand about anybody in a sort of tumultuous situation, or you can call it crisis or trauma or whatever, is you should always, if you're the person who's not in that situation, you're talking to someone who is, you should always remember that if your advice isn't taken or heeded, it's not necessarily because the advice is bad, but the advice may not be appropriate for the situation based on something you do or don't know.
Yeah.
And I'll give some special shout outs out there to people who've been really, really good friends and companions through this behind the scenes. Good Logic, obviously, has been a great friend. And his first concerns, how are you doing? Like, how are you? How are you, my friend?
Yeah, Good Logic messaged me like a week and a half ago about it, and we talked about it like for hours. So yeah, Good Logic's a good dude.
And he's really been great. Megan Fox has always been concerned about how I'm doing, how my family's doing, and that's been really, really great to see as well. Some of the others, I'm not going to mention some people because their discussions with me have been anonymous and confidential, and they can stay that way. But I will throw a special shout out to DUI guy, who I've been talking to as well. And he's made a very, very generous sort of offer towards me. Whether or not I take him up on that offer, it remains to be seen. But he's been nothing short of very, very fucking supportive and really, really earnest and genuine in that support. So obviously there's a ton of my other friends who are out there. They know who they are. I'm not going to put everybody on blast. Those three have been relentless.
I just want to speak out and say that I was voted #1 nose guard for whatever reason. And even in Nick's mind, I wasn't even in the top 3, bro. Okay. And I was voted #1. Now, granted, it was a random guy that voted me #1 with 0 votes. It was just him. But still, come on. What's up, Steve? How you doing, Admiral?
Oh, and I guess I would be remiss if I didn't say Ryan the editor, who's like credited himself automatically with not being fired so goddamn much. Guys, if you don't know this, I'll only do this once. But Ryan the editor is one of the truly, genuinely most stand-up people that I've met in a long time. He's a great dude, and always primarily concerned with how the people in his life are doing, even to the detriment of himself, which he shouldn't do because he deserves to be like taken care of in his own way, and hopefully a nice boy will do that for him when he grows older. But he's a genuinely great dude, and he's been he's been checking on me quite a bit. So I won't fire him for a little bit. Yes, there are others. Maiden Iron is pointing them out, and other people are pointing them out. Viva and Barnes have been very steadfast stand-up guys. Barnes' indignation about the circumstances of the search warrant are really interesting. I can't talk about arguments or legal strategy that I am taking or considering or whatever, but Barnes has some really interesting observations, and I think people can go watch. So, look, I encourage you to watch whoever's analysis of whatever. There's some good analysis.
Somebody says, has Nick's nose always looked that fucked up? Yes. 100%.
Analyses out there. There's some bad analyses out there, as always. I have watched basically 0 of them. I've gotten summaries. I've seen clips and stuff like that. I don't have time to do it right now. It's crazy. Most of my free time right now is responding in some way to some messages from someone. And someone's always like, it's weird because you want to just queue up messages and be like, okay, I'll hit this one, then this one, and get them in order. But it doesn't work that way. What ends up happening is I suddenly have a little bit of time to go ahead and tackle some social media communications. And what I find is I'm responding to the most recent one that has hit me at that time. And that's the best way, because the support and the concern has been pretty overwhelming, which is great. I also have to say, obviously, Camelot, my boy, is out there. Guys, check out Camelot's racing shit.
Yeah, it took him about 10 minutes to get to me.
10 minutes to get to Cody. What is this?
Damn. After all my nose guarding that I've done mercilessly. I tried and only made top 5. It's like racing in real life. I tried really hard and I didn't even get top 5. Damn. Viva and Barnes beat me.
The fact that you got top 10 is all, and your first year racing in NASCAR is pretty fucking impressive.
Yeah, and this is not related to what we're watching, but I was running 9th in Charlotte on the lead lap, which is a big deal. Because big ass track, fast track, and we finished 13th because we didn't take tires on the last run. But I restarted 3rd, so that's pretty cool. And
that's pretty rad.
All those overperforming and just underfunded rides really got a few teams notice, and they all started contacting me. So I basically went with the best offer, which was a very good offer, and that's what I'm doing. So that'll be announced Monday. Somebody asked when the next race is. It is June 14th in Iowa for the new team. You'll see it all Monday. Bob says, Zia, just saying there's a clear bias against those of us under 6 feet tall. It sucks, but you just have to make up for it by being jacked. Yep.
It's the only option we have. Gosh, under 6 feet. I don't know what that bias is. I don't know.
Yep. Yep. I would now. I think the 6 is just a number, like Disparu said. I think if you're 5'10", maybe even 5'9", and you're just kind of you're just kind of winning at life. You're doing what you should be doing. You're all right. It probably obviously helps you to be a 6'1". Yeah, sure. But yeah, I think when it really starts playing negatively is when you're 5'6" or lower. Then it starts drastically playing a different role. Like each inch, it gets worse and worse and worse and worse. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I've never had an issue at all.
And you said you're 5'11"?
Yeah, I might be 5'10" now. I don't know.
Your spine compresses when you lift weights and as you get older.
Well, Tim Pool, somebody said in the chat, he's 5'10". Well, he was like the same height as me. I might be wrong. I can't remember, but he seemed like he was the same height. So anyways, thank you, Bob. Love you, Bob. Appreciate you, Bob. Paul Blunt says, correction, legal mindset is good with the Fuglies. Well, at least there's that. At least he's getting something from somewhere.
Yeah, that's something.
Make sure you guys like the show. I appreciate you guys so much. We're a third of the way to Naked Snake for the 312th show in a row.
Holy moly.
That's not counting the like 25 or 28 shows me and Zia had Naked Snake together.
Oh, that doesn't count those? Oh my gosh.
It did count them. It totally did. Never mind. I'm stupid. Anyways.
Well, I know that.
Completely ignore what I'm saying. But yeah. Anyways, by the way, I will be shilling my shirt and merch very soon. It's gonna be gone in like 19 days forever. So I'm gonna put that on there. Tony says I'm 7'2", but I measure it laying down. Shit. Oh my god.
Tony, stay away from me.
We're gonna be doing that, so it's gonna be a lot of fun. And then, of course, we're going to talk more about the getting YouTube channels, businesses, small businesses, or whatever on my deck lid. And let me just talk about that for 1 second. Literally, like probably 10 seconds. The issue is, let's get Zia's boobs on here. The issue is people reach out to me a lot, and they're like, "Man, I really want to be on your car. I want to be sponsoring your car." And I'm like, they're like, "How much for the hood?" Or blah blah blah. Blah. And I'm like, it's huge. It's like on Fox Sports 1, 500,000 viewers, concurrent, not total, concurrent. And it's most teams charge a couple $100,000 depending on where it is. I could charge a little bit less, obviously, because my contract's really, really good. And then they hear the number, and it could be 5 to 10 to 20 grand depending on the spot, and they're like, "Holy shit!" And I'm like, yeah, it's that's why most of the sponsors are just companies or big content creators.
Yeah.
Like Public Square. So I'm thinking about doing a thing, and we'll see how many people are interested, but for way less, putting like a 2x2 or 3x3 logo of a content creator, a small business, whatever have you, on the deck lid, and we'll put them all around the Timcast logo. And then tag them all on the motorsports post I have every day, or sorry, not every day, every week. And they usually get quote tweeted or retweeted by Tim and a bunch of other people. And they'll be all tagged in that. And I'll do that for a whole year for people, and it'll be 100 times cheaper than what it is to just do like the entire bumper or something. So trying to give somebody a way to get in and still be able to be included and do some cool stuff with me, because that's what I am. I'm just fucking content creator as well. So anyways, let's continue with the Nick Rekieta saga.
It's really, really fucking exciting how well that's going on.
By the way, if I didn't mention it already, to find out about that, just DM me on Twitter. Follow me there. It's popping up right
now. Kurt, I see him in the chat. He's been awesome. Really just a bunch of people have been great. I'm sorry if I missed someone. The people I talk to personally know who they are. So I'm not going to sit here and jerk everybody off, though.
But I like when
well, then what are we doing?
I do see Camelot in the chat as well. What Camelot should be doing is racing. Do you guys know that Camelot is now a racist? He's a racer and a racist. He's probably lead attorney. Obviously, I always forgetting the black guy. Lead attorney has been wonderful. And again, I haven't watched everybody's shows, and some people will send me a clip or something, or say, hey, so and so said something about you, and some people sounds like they're concerned that someone.
What are you laughing about?
I'm laughing at Alan. Alan, I don't know how to say the name. Reese. what he said.
I put the speed on 7.75. Nick sounds better. CS sounds normal, but Cody sounds retarded. He's kind of retarded on normal speed.
Yeah, Cody. Cody's normal speed is half speed.
Yes.
There's other people's half speed.
Yes.
Might have said something negative at some stream somewhere, and guys, it's always been this way. People are allowed to have different opinions about me.
Yeah, I'm sure Nick saw and I don't even think he took it as negative because I told him. So Nick, he texted me the other day, and he said, "Hey, are you putting out a video where you're talking negative about me or something?" Because I think somebody just told him, and I was like, "No, I did a stream last night or whatever," and I was like, and it was generally positive, but I did say some very, very, direct things. I said that Nick needs to face accountability. Nick's made some mistakes. He needs to get on a path to fight, to make it back, fight for his children, and do what's right. Take accountability, do what's right. Basically admit that there's a problem, and then tackle it and move on. And he was like, "Of course, that's what I'm doing." And I'm like, "All right, cool." And that's all I needed to hear. But that's basically what I was implying. So,
allowed to make up their minds on whatever the I don't want to say the evidence. That's getting a little fucking official here. Whatever the story that people know is, they're going to make decisions and judgments and assessments based on the story that they hear, right? That should be obvious. I will say this. I said it before. People completely misinterpreted this one as well. The story is something that is not what's being said. How far off in what areas will differ all over the place. And this is going well beyond legal. I don't know, I was kind of trending all over the place. I saw Law and Crime covered my search warrant. I cannot wait to go through the fucking Law and Crime coverage of my search warrant. I can, because of course they did. I don't begrudge them for doing it. I would have done it twice. If Dan Abrams ever gets, if that fucking dude ever gets
So for context, Law and Crime, when Nick was streaming the Law and Crime feed of the Rittenhouse trial and of the Johnny Depp trial and getting a lot of views, way more views than Law and Crime, they sent him a cease and desist over a public feed, even though it was transformative, obviously.
Yeah.
So they didn't move forward with that. So anyways, that's what he's talking about. And then he was probably like, yeah, they're very happy that they got to cover my arrest and report and all that shit. So
I don't know what he'd be charged with or whatever. I will make fun of him all day. So I would expect them to do the same, but I now want to go back and chop up their analysis because it's going to be funny. A lot of people have said a lot of really shitty things about me and particularly me and Lady Rackets. And I will say this one time. Again, the story and reality diverge in places, but I'll say this this way. People can only make value judgments and assessments based on what they have seen and heard, and what they have seen and heard now will be their value judgment and assessment. And at some point, I'll either get the opportunity to correct that for someone or I won't, and that's life. Especially that's life in any sort of media. You get the opportunity to speak, and people may not always take the opportunity to listen. And if that's what people decide to do and they've made their judgments, then I can't begrudge them for that. Of course, when things are said about you, when allegations or inaccuracies crop up, you want to run out and address them.
Yeah, that's a good point. And also, Chad's tape says 5 kids and you're hoping for his redemption arc. Yeah, his redemption arc to be there for his children and to raise his children.
Yeah, of course.
Not
absolutely.
a redemption arc that I can't wait for him to come back to streaming and rule the world and streaming. No, I'm talking about personally a redemption arc. I don't see a situation where you'd ever want your kids taken away from their father unless it's extenuating circumstances.
Well, yeah, unless he really isn't going to
shit.
if he's not going to get his shit together, but he is, if he's trying to get it, that's what you want, right? Obviously.
Yeah. So that's kind of what you're referring to there. Like I said, you gotta look at it from this perspective. And so he's saying he won't have, Chad said he won't have a redemption arc. Okay. And that may be true. I'm just saying that's what I would like to see as far as personally. Now, also one of the things that I mentioned before is people are like, yeah, well, he has 5 kids. He made more than a mistake. And I'm like, okay, so what do you want to happen? Because I agree with you, but I want things to work out and for the best for him and his family and children. That's what I'm saying. And I'm like, what do you want to happen? Because it sounds like when I say, there's some shit happened, but I hope things work out in the best possible way for his family. people are like, well, that's wrong. And I'm like, well, are you saying you want him dead? I don't understand what the alternative, like, do you want him to go to jail for the rest of his year or his life? I mean, what do you want? So like, I want to know what you want. What would you like to see happen?
This is a very similar sort of mob mentality when people want to cancel someone. And that's like if someone says something racist, for example, or does whatever it is, and they go back and they find old jokes, they want to cancel them and they want them to, I guess, lose their livelihoods, lose their job. Oh, these people shouldn't live. They shouldn't have families. They shouldn't. I think it's true. I think people, obviously not everyone, I'm not speaking for everyone, but they don't want the person to be able to live or have a life anymore.
Yeah. I agree. See, so I want to know, I want some clarification because I'm not like angry or shitting on anybody. Let me pull this up just for a second. So Horn says, it's such a shame. I used to love you, but there's no excuse for what he did. Okay. So what?
I don't think you were making excuses.
What is the alternative? Like my very first show back, I was very critical. So critical that people on Twitter was like, wow, Spots Camelot actually like was straight up. And I'm like, yeah, thank you. So I've never made an excuse for what he did. I said the things that he did was fucked up. And if the child allegations of them not eating and shit, if that's true, that's fucked up. I get it. But I would like to see a positive outcome. So what is the alternative? Are you saying you want him to be shot? I don't understand what the alternative is. Are you saying you want the outcome to be worse for him and his children? That's what I'm confused about with this, because people keep saying this, and I'm like, well, what do you want? So you want a negative outcome? So do you want his children to be hurt? I'm confused. Like,
do you want his life to go down the drain and his children to go into the system?
Yeah, I don't understand what the alternative is here. Like, I agree with almost everything people say when they're like, he's made a mistake. And I'm like, yeah, sure.
Absolutely.
So El Togera says, okay, and this is at least somebody said something. Shit. So in Gelterra says prison. Okay, that's a valid point. But
do we want
prison, his children lose their father?
Well, this is what I was going to say too. Prison is the whole idea behind prison. Prison is reform, right? The whole idea is you go to prison, you come out reformed. Does that happen? No, absolutely not. I think it's a very, very flawed system. Yeah. But that being said, how long does he go to prison for that is going to be acceptable? And when does he get a redemption arc there? Does he turn his life around, or does he spend the rest of his life in prison? He stays an addict and fuck him. You know what I mean? So that's the other problem.
Right. So yeah, and I don't think that's not a valid thing to say. Prison, or I would like to see him in prison for a year. I'd like to see him on probation for 2 years. That's what I said. I mean, I think probation will be a good spot, and I think rehab would be a very, very good spot.
When my sister got arrested, I was so relieved, and I know that sounds insane, but I was happy. I was so happy because she was never going to get help otherwise. She was out on the streets. No one knew where she was. Every fucking 808 phone number call, 808 number that called me, I thought was going to be someone telling me that they found my sister's body. And it was horrible. And it was heartbreaking. So when I found out she was arrested, I was like, oh, thank God. Prison was the best place for her, and possibly the best thing that's happened to her in her life. I don't know what she's going to do when she gets out. I hope against hope that she's going to get her life together. That might not be the case, but yeah,
yeah, and that's the thing is,
it's not a bad thing.
Yeah, and that's the thing is, the person said again that the family would get them. Well, the family might get them. Maybe you're right, but they would still lose their father. And growing up without a strong father figure, the same father you've had, puts the society and community in a very, very hamstring situation, just like it is currently in the U.S. The rise of single motherhood has completely destroyed this country, irreparably destroyed it. And I feel like the same people that agree that single motherhood's completely destroyed this country are the same people are wishing that his children don't have a father anymore. And it doesn't really make sense to me. And it seems more parasocial, like, hate, which is fine. Like, look, dude, I get it. But Horn says not prison, rehab. Yes. Well, then I agreed. So why would you say I used to love you? I hate people making excuses when we literally, Horn, think the identical thing. I don't get it.
Yeah, I don't think anyone's made excuses for him. It's just you hope he gets his life together. That's really all it is. You hope that he has that redemption arc for his family. That's the entire point of it.
Yeah, it's very strange, but hey, it's all good. We're Uncle Andy says he seems to think he did nothing wrong. For the audience, maybe, yeah. I could see what you're saying for sure. But I feel like he talks a little bit more candid with people that know him in real life, and I think I see that. Only time will tell. That's what I said from the beginning. I think he needs to take some accountability and fucking, answer personally to this shit and then move on and try to fight it and become a better person as a result for him and everybody around him. Time will tell if that happens. So we'll see.